If you're watching this video on YouTube, you can watch on 1.5x speed. So we have given today question that you are a manager of basketball team, and we have to find what the best team with no conflict, right? This is the question 1625. Okay, so let's read the question. Question saying you are a manager of basket team for the upcoming tournament, right? And you want to choose the team with the highest overall score. So the score of the team is the sum of all the player in the team. Okay, it is the sum of all the player of the team, right? The score. However, the basketball team is not allowed to have conflict. Okay, there should not be a conflict. A conflict exists if a younger player has a higher score, okay, than the older player. This is the conflict. So a conflict does not occur between a player of the same age. So if there is the same age, right, means there is no conflict. Okay, conflict will happen only if there is a younger player have the higher score. Okay, okay. Let's suppose someone has age 2. Okay, sorry. Let's suppose someone has age 2 and he has a score 5. Okay, and there is age 1 and he has a score what? Let's suppose 4, right? So there is a conflict. But if both have let's suppose 2 have 5 and 2 also another is also have the if there is same age, right? The let's suppose he has also 5. So there is no conflict, conflict, you guys. We'll see this thing. Now given two lists, score and age, score of I and score of, sorry, age of I represent the ith player in the list. So we have to return the highest score overall. We have to return the highest overall score of all possible basketball team. Okay. Now understand the example. Okay. So we have given score and we have given age. Both array we have given, right? So if you will represent this one has this age 1 has player and its score is 1. If we talk about this one, so age 2 of the player having a score 3, like this we have given. Okay, so if you choose all the players right here, so you will get the score what? 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 10 plus 15, like this, right? So it will come around what? 34, right? If you'll do the sum, 4 and 5, it is 9, and 10, if you add 10, then 15, right? So if you do this addition, right, what will come? 10 and 10, 20, and 10, 35. Yeah, the 34, it will come 34. Good. Okay, so it will come around that. Now similarly, if we'll talk about example 2, right, and we have age and a score we have given, right? So see 4 have is what? 2. So 2 has score 4, like this we have to write. 2 is player have score 4. 1 is have what? 5. Another is, you can say, this is player 1, player 2, player 3 have a score what? Age is 2 and he has what? Score 6. And player 4 have age 1 and 5, like this. So if we want to choose the what uh, from this player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, right? So his age is, if we'll check the age, right? So see here, player 1, his age and his age are same, correct? Player 1, P2 and P4, P2 and P4 has the same age is 1 and a score is what? 5. And P1 and P4, P1 and P3 have a score what? P1 have 4, P1 has 4 score and P3 has a score what? 6, but both age is what? 2, correct? So age is same, so there is no conflict, right? If age is the same, so for the P1 and P3 age is same, and so there is no conflict. You see here, this is saying if age is same, right, then there is no conflict, correct? So there is no conflict, and so that P2 and P4 has a conflict. Okay, so what we will do in this we will choose these two is selected, right? 4 and 6, that is 10. 10 is 10 score we have got already. Now from here P1 and P4 from P1 and P4, if we'll choose, right, there is a conflict. Okay, there is conflict we have. So what will happen, uh, it is best to choose the last three player. We'll choose the last three player, P2, P3, P4, correct? So it will become what, total 11, correct? Sorry, 11, 6 and 5, 11 and 5 16, we will get 16 output. And if we'll select P1, P3, P4, any of these, so we will get what, 10, 14, right? We will get 14. So better we will select last three we will select. Okay, you got it? I think you have got it. Okay, let me clean this and let me write again. Okay, okay, I was saying that P1 have 4, but its age is 2. P1 is age 4. Then again what we have, combination, P2 has a score 5 and its age is what, 1. And if P3 will talk, its age is what, yes, its score is 6 but the age is 2. And P4 have score 5 but its age is 1. Okay, so for the age this one, there is age is same, here is age same for P3 P4, right? So which has score more, right? Let's suppose, so P3 has more score, right? So we will select this one. Okay, so P3 is selected, suppose, right? Next, if we'll choose about P1, right? 6 and what we have, 5, right? In this, what we will get, same age, right? In this we don't have the conflict with the same age, but younger is if have more score, right? So what we will do, there is a conflict, right? So if we'll talk about these two, P1 and P2, P1 and P2, right? So P2 has more score and he is younger, right? So here is you can say a conflict exists, right? So which one has the highest value? So P2 has the highest value, right? So what we will do, we will select P2. Okay, right? The same as we have P1 and P3, that's why we have selected P2. Now what we have, P1 and P2, if we'll talk about P1 and P2, so P2 is having the highest you can say score and he is younger also, right? So we will select P2 here. Another, if we'll talk about P3 and P4, right? If we want to, so P4 will automatically it will come, right? Otherwise, if we'll talk about the scene between this number, right? This number, right? So P3 will automatically will come. Give me 1 minute. Charger. Okay, so this will come. Very good, it got. So P4 will come as a 5. Okay, so we have what, P2 5 and 6, P3 and P4 5. So it will come 16, and so that is coming 16. Let's read. Let's see the another example. This is given and this is given, right? Score and age. So if we'll talk about the ages, right? So what we'll do, we will check score. We have 1, 2, 3 and 5, right? This is P1, P2, P3 and P4. Okay, we have given, and its ages is what? Its age is 8, 9, 10 and 1, right? So if you see here, right, if you will see here, uh, if you choose in different ages, we have different ages, right? But higher age we have, like what? 9, 10, 8, 9, 10 we have here. 8, 9, 10 we have. And there is one we have, you can say he is younger age, right? P4 has younger age. So if we will select higher age, right? Higher age. So we are getting what? 1, 2 and 3 plus, right? We will get 6. And if we'll select younger age, this one, right? So younger age is what? 1. So it has a score only 5. We'll get 5. So there is a conflict, right? We have the higher age, right? So what we will do here, we will choose higher one. Okay, last the previously we have seen, right? We will choose the that one. So we will choose this one and we'll get higher number, right? So till now what we have seen, we have seen if ages are different, right? Then we will select all, correct? If ages are different, no conflict is there, then we will do what? We will add and we will remove. We will add all these values and we'll say this is the highest score you get, right, from the this team. Now if we have the same age, like we have this and this and this and this, right? 1, 1, 2, 2, right? So in this case, what we have to discard? We from the same age, right? From the same age, you will have to, you do not have conflict, you can say. But if we are taking which has higher score, right, then there is a conflict, correct? So what we will do, we will get the highest score and we will make our possible, right? Like this we have here. So we have discarded the first one, right? Because its age is age we have, right? But the score is less, right? So we have to discard this one and we have to select other one. Similarly, we have understood what if ages are different, right? But if the younger player has a higher score, right, and if all the player, right, if all the player has not younger and his value is what we can say max, so what we will do, that we will do sum and then we will select this one and we'll discard the younger one. Okay, so the age length should be between 1 to 1000 and score length should be always age length. These are the conditions we have given. Okay, so let's go to the browser. Understand. So let's go to the browser and do the implementation. Okay, so before that what we will do, this is the top-down dynamic approach we will follow. So let's suppose we have given ages here, right, and its score is given. Okay, so age 1 have the score 2, age 3 we have a score 7, age 4 we have a score 4, like that we have given. So let's assume that first we have the prefix and index, right? So why we are taking like this? See, we are given two list of integer, right? That is age and score. So these list represent the score and age respectively of each of the n player we have. Let's suppose total 10 player we have, suppose, and we need to find the highest score of non-conflicting team. So a team has a conflict if younger players has highest score than the older player, right? So whether a player stays in the team depends on his score and his age, right? So as well as the age and score of the other player in the same team. right? So we do need to consider these two parameters before making any decision. So we can reduce these two considered parameter by one of the sorting of the player according to the other parameter. So if we sort by A's, we only need to consider score, and you can say vice versa, right? So in this approach, what we will do, we will sort the player in the ascending order, you can say, by the A's. And then the benefit of sorting is that now we will start choosing player from left to right. We know that the age of the player we choose will always be greater than the age of the player we have already chosen. So hence we only need to think about the score of the player, correct? So once we have sorted the player in ascending order of the age, we will iterate them from a smaller to larger. So for each player in the iteration, we either add the player to the team if doesn't have conflict with the team, and will do add them to the player to the team, as you can see, right? So let's suppose either we will skip this person in to adding in the team, either we will add into team, correct? Like this we will do. And once the person is added onto the team, right? So we can see that this person is already added. We have the memory, right? We have already added on the team, so we have the data, right? So what we will do, for each player in the iteration we will check, add this player to the team if doesn't conflict with the team, and do add the player to the team, right? Either. So to check if the player current player makes the current team conflict, if we do need to have the previous player, right, have chosen or not. The reason is that the player we have already chosen are non-conflicting, right? Since the player are in ascending order, increasing order of their age, they would also need to be in non-decreasing order of the score, correct? So before that, the necessary of the team to be non-conflicting, hence the last player we have chosen will have the highest age and score, right? Highest score and age. So now if the score of the current player is more than the last player that we have chosen, so we can add this player to the team, otherwise not, right? Each time we will check its age and its value, right? We'll check its score. So for this you can say the recursive approach, what are the parameters that we need to track? The first parameter is index of the player we are currently considering as we traverse the player. Secondly, we must keep track of the last player index, that is previous we will choose. So what we will do, we will iterate over all the n possibilities, right, that we have. Either we will choose or not choose. So you can say 2 to the power n, right? See, for each, if we'll talk about this part, right? So n possibilities are there, right? N possibilities. And similarly we'll go for the other these possibilities, correct? So total it will become what? 2 to the power n possibilities, correct? So we can say, so it is not efficient if we observe the consider, right? If we observe this one, right, that we are adding. So once we have the result memorized, we have already, so we will reduce this one, right? So we will reduce, because see, we have already repeated sub problem that we have, right? So if you notice, the green nodes are repeated sub problem, and it's signifying that we have already solved this sub problem. And to avoid the recalculating result for previous seen sub problem, we will memorize this result for each sub problem, so the next time we need to calculate the result for the same set of parameter, you can say, either we'll take index or previous, right? We'll take previous and index, and we can simply look up the result in a constant time instead of recalculating the result. Okay, so if we'll discuss about like algorithm, right? First algorithm can be what? We will we have the age and score, right? So we will store age and score of all the player in the in a list pair, you can say, in a pair like that we have here, right? Like we have here. In this way we will store age and score. I will give some name. Then what we will do, we will sort this one in ascending order as we have currently. Okay, and then we will iterate over the player. We'll start from what, index 0 to, we will go to its last value, right? So index 0 will have what prefix, nothing but -1, correct? So see, because we have not choose any player, so if you can say its player is at this position, let's suppose at this position, so, or at the index more than the current player in the previous, you can say, then we can add this player, and then we can say the score will be maximum of the two choices. We'll take another two and we'll check if we add this player, we will add the score, and the value of the previous will be the current index, right? So we will move to the next player, index +1, like this, and then we will check if we don't add this player, the value won't be changed, and or we should move the player, like that we will check. Next, what we should do, once this is done, then we will check the two conditions are satisfied or not. If they are satisfied, we have only one option to leave this player, and then we will move to the next one, and we will take one base condition, and we'll say if we have iterated over the player, we should return 0, like so. Let's go to the browser and we'll implement there, and you can see that we have score and age, right? So both we have given, right? So what we should do here, first of all, we will, as we told, like we should make a pair, right, of the combination, you can say age and score combination, right? So what we will do, we should first make a pair. Okay, so I'll take age and score, you can say pair, right? This, like this we will make, right? So this is nothing but our 2D array. Okay, so I'll take equal to new, I'll take, and this is nothing but a integer type, correct? So I'll take int, and we'll say size would be exactly the age length, right? So we have given ages, dot will pass length, you will get the length, and then we will do its age. At each age we have the pair, right? So at each age we will have a pair of two players, right? Let's suppose. Now we will check, we'll go to int I equal to 0 and I less than n and I plus plus, and then what we will do, we will initialize this pair, right? Let's suppose I have a score pair, and will pass on each player, on each age we will have some score, right? Let's suppose at 0 we will pass, here we will pass ages, at ages we have, right, at I, correct? Similarly, if we'll talk about this one, as this is nothing but our score, correct? Scores, and this is at what, at position 1. So each pair, each pair contain score and all the ages and its score, right? Now we have this pair. Now what we should do, we should sort by age and its a score, right? So first we will sort this. How we'll do that? So there is a arrays, right? Arrays dot sort, and then we will pass what, our age pair. We will pass our age pair, and then two things we will pass, a, and then we'll pass b. Okay, so if a and b, we have two elements we have, so to sort this one, this is the where I am doing comparing those two value, and then I am updating its what we can say item. To item we are checking if a of 0 is equal to what, b of 0 to item you can say item 1 and item 2 in the pair. If equal, right, if equal, if they are equal, then what we will do, we will do a of uh, we can say 0, f1 you can take f1 minus bf1. If not, then we will say a of 0 minus b of 0. So we are sorting and we are assigning the value. Okay, so let me, yeah, looks good. We have two pair a and b, so we will sort like this only. We will do sorting once the a's and this value, right, is sorted on the pair list, right, in the you can say matrix, right. So what will happen, you will have our sorted value, okay, by age and score. So initially all the states are null because uh, we have not calculated, let's suppose, okay, in the dp. So what we'll do, we'll create one let's dp, right, dp for the memorize, right, memorization, and this is nothing but our uh, new integer, right, new new integer will pass and we'll say at n we have n elements, right. So we have to define here also like this, okay. This is our dp and we will store all its sub calculated value. To do that, what we have to do, we have a we have to return we have to find what maximum score, right. So to do that, we have to find a recursive function that will do the, it will check the uh, max score, you can say. So to calculate max score, we'll calculate or you can say write find calculate max score, okay, calculate max score. So once the max score is calculated, right, of each value we will store on the dp, and that's why we have our age score pair, and we'll start with -1 index and 0 as a value. Previous index will give -1 from we'll start, and then this is our index value, right. So to write this, what we have to do, this method will return what, integer, okay. So I'll say integer its type and we'll say calculate this, and this will store what, four thing. The first is dp, so I'll take this dp. Another, it will take what, age. I'll take my age here from here to here, and then it will take what, nothing but our in previous or index, right, will take. So I'll take in integer only, say previous, and will take int index, okay. Now what we should check, we have to check if index is what, greater than equal to, we have our age pair, right, at this length. If its length is, index is greater than its length, means we have reached to last, we have to return 0, okay. Because see, we have to return 0, why, if we have iterated all the players, right, we don't have the pairs, right. So this is the base condition we have. Now we will calculate our answer. How we'll calculate that, if we have already calculated, let's suppose we have dp, and at dp we'll pass our previous index and plus now we are current index, and this is nothing but our index. So if not equal to what? Null, means we have already calculated, we don't need to worry about, right? We have already calculated. So in this case we will return what? We have dp, then we'll say previous plus plus one, you can write that we have checked that, and at this index what we have, the index we have exactly same we have right here. You can pass this also like this. Okay, I think we are good. Now if we have calculated, then we will return. If not, right, if not, what we have to do, we have to add this, add, we have to write, let's suppose I'll give right already calculated sub problem, then right. And if I'll talk about this line, what we're doing, we have iterated all players, right. And third, if we have not calculated, right, then we have to add player. How we'll add the player, and we'll calculate the our maximum, right. So first we will check if the previous we have is equal to -1, or as we have, right, pair at index at 1, right. If it is greater than equal to what, the page pair we have at previous and 1. Okay, what is saying, if previous is equal to -1, a score at this position is greater than equal to a score at this one, right. Then sorry, this is at index, right, this is at index, and this is the previous index. Yeah, so if greater than, right, then what we will do, we have to return what, at dp, this is we have here at here we will add, right. So we are returning that one. So if we are not calculating, then we have to store here, right. We were returning at this position, correct. Now what we have to do, if we don't have, then at this position we have to add, right. So that part we are doing here. So if we have, then math.max, which is maximum score we have, max. Okay, so a and b we have to pass, two attribute we have to pass, right. So we are already calculating this function, right. So we will check at both position. Let's suppose this one, and I'll pass this one 2 times, right. We are passing. So the first we are calculating what, uh, calculate, and then we are passing our score. But index is what, this is nothing but our previous, right, previous, and this 0 is nothing but our index, right. So let's suppose we have already index, we have passed it, and then next, for the next index we have to do index plus 1, correct. And similarly, let me check, for this part it will change. Okay, here what it will change, see, index we have already, right, index we have already calculated, right. So this index is now, previous is now what, our current index, correct. So we will update this previous to index, and index will be by do plus 1, so it will remain same. So you can do here. So now we have, let me go to here. Now you can see like this, right. What we have done, we have added our at the previous plus 1, means at the current position we will check the score with the next consecutive player, right, in the list, which is max, that will come here, and we will add there. Finally, what we will do here, we will return that we have here, right. this one right here. So at this position only we are storing, right? So at this value we will, what we will do, we will return, right? But we have to calculate, right? So if we have already calculated, then fine, otherwise what we will do, we will calculate. So from here to here we should take, okay, yeah, either this. So we'll do calculate max, we'll pass dp score previous index plus 1 will do. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please comment here. Let me run this. Okay, it is saying cannot find the symbol. Yeah, we can do what we'll do. We have our is, right? We'll go to the all its is, that is nothing but n. Now we have our n into n. We can define one n. Wait, we'll take int n equal to what, this, and otherwise if you'll take here, so we can remove from here. Okay, at line what, 24, not equal to null. Oh sorry, line 924 only, dp at this position plus 1 is equal to null. Okay, so now answer is coming wrong, right? Let's suppose why it is coming. So first of all, what we have did here, we have our age, right? So age we have given, score we have given. What we have did, we have moved to all its pair. We have added at I 0, we have added age right here, line number 7. We have added I and 0, right? Then we have added what, I at 1. We have all added, right? Now adding, we have did what, sorting. We are passing a comma b. If a equal to what, b, then we do a of 1 minus b of 1. Otherwise a of 0 minus b of 0 we will do. So once this is done, we will have our dp we have. So we are storing our dp, then we will calculate our pair. So in this pair we will passing what, dp we are passing, age we are passing a pair, and minus 1 0 we are passing as a previous index or index. Now we have what, we have dp have, we have this score, we have previous or index we are passing. So we'll check if the index is greater than or equal to what, its length, right? So we will return 0. If not, then we will do previous plus 1 and we'll say at index this. If not equal to null, right, then we will return what, dp of previous plus 1 and index, right? If we have already calculated, right? So what we will do, we will return if that value, right? Previous plus 1 will do and will return index, right? So if we have not added, then what we will do, we'll check with the, if the previous is equal to minus 1 or is at what, index, right, is greater than what, previous, right? If previous at 1, then we will do we'll calculate dp at previous plus 1, dp at previous plus 1 and index will return what, which is max. The first we have what, we are passing dp score previous and index plus 1, and another word passing what, yeah, one thing one can do here, I think we should do here, we can add here one thing that we can say score, right? We have at this score we have some value, right? We have not added score. Let's suppose I'll take this one. Okay, here I'll take this one and we'll store I. I is nothing but we can take index. Here it will be index and at 1, and then we'll do plus. Okay, so let me do thing. let's suppose this is our nothing but control Z. Let me do here, this is nothing but our X. Let's suppose X player 1. Let's suppose this is player 1. So I'll take here int player 1 equal to like this. I'll take, okay, and I'll take this part as a player 2. So player 2 I'll take, okay, player 1 and player 2 will take int player 2. Let me increase the font, okay. So I have taken player 1 and player 2 here. So what I'm doing in the player 1, I'm selecting what calculate dp at is this one index, and in the player 2 what we are doing, we are finding at index 1 what we have the value, that is a score, right, that we will calculate, or we will add on to the dp at index next index plus 1. Let me try this one. Yeah, this will work. Thank you so much, guys. If you like this video, please hit comment, like, subscribe to this channel, and if you have any suggestion, please ping me in the comment box. Thank you so much. So we have completed our January right batch. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.